Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Look, it's my day off. You can't make me put makeup on today. Nope, you can't make me. I don't care. I do not care. I'm gonna sleep all day. No, I got a lot to do, but getting ready is not one of them. Okay. Judge Fleischer comes back in a couple hours, guys. Don't worry. We'll get through it. We will get through it. We're gonna have to go back in time to do some Judge Fleischer today, and I didn't even get anything ready, but I'll have it ready by that time. I will. Maybe we'll do another Friday because he wears the best outfits on Friday. But maybe not. We'll see. What do I got today? Okay. I don't know where to start. Let's start. Let's go to Frank. We're going to start with Frank, guys. I think this is a good one to start with.
People versus Fairfield, 717280. A, B, case number 221833. I imagine that's a bench warrant. Yes, it is. Second bench warrant. And then on file number 235380. Another bench warrant. All right. Parents for the record.
And Kane on behalf of Mr. Bearfield, starting with I guess the new ticket judge, we'd enter a plea of not responsible to both those, ask that they get set for a hearing. I did ask Mr. Bearfield why he didn't come to court on April 2020, well, April 22. He told me that
I clearly spelt drank wrong.
he just didn't get it in the mail. He did give me an updated address today, Judge. That's different from what appears on the bench warrant. He's going to be staying at 1130 Janai Court here in Saginaw, Michigan, zip code 48601, apartment 105. I also asked Mr. Bearfield a little bit about when he can take care of this failure to pay. He told me if he was released today, he could pay the entire $225 today, Judge.
Wait, he wants me to release him and then expect him to pay?
Well, Judge, he doesn't have any money on him right now, but he is currently working at Speedway. He told me he could have it here, no later than 5 o'clock.
Speedway is like Chevron, only better.
Judge.
I got $98 in my account right now. They could take that, and I just need to get the rest of it. I'll bring it back today before 5. I can do that.
Same thing you said back on when I gave you the other bench warrant. I gave you additional 60 days.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to find a job at the time, man. I was in the process of trying to find. I work at Speedway now. I do third shift, 10 to 6, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Well, all right.
3 days a week.
Young man. Why do you like coming through the court system so much? What is so appealing that you like coming through the judicial system?
It's you, Judge.
No, man. I'm trying to do my life.
Coming through it, man.
Sorry. I apologize, man.
Accept it. When did you get your job at Speedway, sir?
Hose
I've
before
been working there
bros,
like a
Kelly.
month now, almost 3 weeks, like this. I get paid every week too, every Monday.
Hose before bros, you give me his beer. I don't have to pry it from your hand. You give it to me.
Well, officer of so you can get an attorney on your charge of failure to stop at a property damage accident. You know, there's the old adage that you never do. You win or you lose. And that's the reason.
My mail was getting sent back, I ain't even know.
He has cooties.
Then on the other.
Oh, Micah, we're ready. Can do it, Micah.
So this is what we'll do on that one you owe. Have until Monday. Pay it. Monday, the 29th.
I don't
Now the
watch.
bench warrant goes back out.
That's why I drink it.
It's closed at 4:45 today.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Was y'all send a court date for that other one to the 11:30 address?
You don't think the address will be able to get it. 11:30 tonight.
I can.
Yeah.
If you don't get notice within a week and a half, you're gonna have to call. You have these civil infractions. I entered your plea of not responsible.
He's not going to have to call Judge. Do not worry, because today is Monday. And there's no way that he paid it.
All right.
He's getting arrested
I'll be
today.
right back.
Make a difference in the world in a good way, not the way you've been doing it. You will. In the matter of people versus.
Make a difference in the world in the right way.
244217. Appearances for the record.
And Kay, on behalf of Mr. Doucette, we'd waive reading, stand mute, ask for a referral to the Office of Assigned Counsel. We're ready to address bond when appropriate.
Pre-exam August 8 at 9 a.m. Preliminary exam August 14 at 3 p.m. That's in front of Judge Clark. As to bond.
As to bond, Judge, I did talk to Mr. Doucette a little bit
I hope your ears are okay when your eyes are done.
about this today. He was living at the Ohio Avenue address with the alleged victim in this case. He has a new address he can go to. He's going to be staying with his grandma, who lives at 4190 Lee Valley in Columbiaville, zip code 48421. Mr. Doucette, he's 26 years old. He's lived here in Michigan his whole life. He does have one kid, and he is employed at his dad's restaurant where he, cooks, cleans, and pretty much helps his dad run the business. He was very honest about his criminal history and that he's on probation, but he has been keeping to all the terms of his probation and keeping in close contact with his probation officer. We'd ask for a reasonable bond today, Judge.
Is that why Judge Trice issued the bench warrant? Because he's been so compliant?
Told me that he contacted his agent last Wednesday. So
Because the agent contacted him, or? Yeah.
And then they put handcuffs on me, but I complied and went and see him in person.
And guess what? I imagine you'd be seeing Judge Trice now because he's not. Yep, that's what he does. Let's see what the warrant says.
It's not good when you make the judge go digging into your file, dude. Your lawyer did that.
Where?
This is Judge Frank from Michigan, right? Michigan.
Probation violation.
Yeah. Love letter from Judge Trice. It was the bond violations. You don't like women either.
We don't know what his initial
So,
crime was, but we're gonna get an idea.
Yep. Well, given that there is an outstanding bench warrant, given that you have a prior record, given that you don't play well with others, bond will be set at, given that the court's somewhat concerned with regard to slight risk. So we'll set a monetary bond of, 15,000, you can pull money, get out cash surety, no contact with the victim, so it's not baseball season anymore. No firearms, no weapons of any kind, that includes a baseball bat, no illegal controlled substances, no alcohol, no GPS, that's what Judge Price even let you out. Good luck with that one. You're all set.
Good luck with that one.
In the matter of People versus Goodman.
So this judge either really hates baseball or that guy committed a crime with a baseball bat. You guys can decide. Because they didn't actually say. So I can't speculate. Let's go with Judge Mercer. We haven't seen Judge Mercer in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Great. Good morning, everyone. I'm Wade Mercer. I'm the county judge in Jackson County. We have 3 first appearances this morning. We have 2 attorneys involved in the first appearance process. We have Mr. John McDaniel, Assistant Public Defender. He's at the jail. In the courtroom, we have Ms. Shayla Jeffcoat. I'm going to ask Ms. Jeffcoat to introduce herself.
This is Shayla Jeffcoat, Assistant State Attorney.
Great. And can you see and hear Ms. Jeffcoat out there, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Great. We do have friends or family here on Verloria Wilson. So let me see her first, please. Ms. Wilson, come on up.
We're going to
Wilson,
get
you're
to
the
see
first
friends and
appearance
family.
Your husband and your father are both in the courtroom. Ms. Wilson, you've been accused of 1 count of trespass after warning. Ms. Wilson, there is probable cause in the complaint, and I'm going to see if the attorneys have any additional information before I address your bond or your release status. Mr. McDaniel?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Wilson, how long have you lived in Jackson County?
all my life,
54
years.
You ever been charged with crime before?
No,
I guess you're currently not working, but before your current unemployment, how long did you work at your job?
19 years,
And where did you work at?
the city of Jacob.
At this point in time, I understand that, the no trespassing, you're not supposed to go back up to the city of Jacob, the offices there.
Yes, but I asked for a dispatcher
That's
to go
right.
with
We'll
me.
get into that later. So, we just asked for an ROR with only condition is no contact with, with City of Jacob, any of their properties there, or that she's not allowed to go to. She's a lifelong resident of Jackson County, never been in charge of any crime before.
Thank you, I'm sorry, Mr. McDaniel. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was saying that she's got nowhere else to go. She's got a lifelong resident, owns a house here and property, and she's not going nowhere.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Jeffcoat, anything from the state?
Nothing further.
So Ms. Wilson, I almost never give notice to peers or RORs unless if there's probable cause. I have no problem at all with a conditional release in your case or a bond. That's entirely up to you. If you like to post a bond,
Karen,
given
I
your history and the charge, I would set you $1,000 bond. If you want to accept the conditional release, I have no problem with that at all. The conditional release would have the standard conditions of every release, plus the conditions you have no contact with the City of Jacob offices.
So this is in Jackson City, but I don't know what state it's in. So I'm going to guess Georgia, and I'm hoping someone will correct me. But he does things different in this courtroom. So he lets them choose. You can either pay a cash bond or you get released on pretrial conditions. You choose. But if there's a no contact, you still get a no contact, even if you pay to get released. So some conditions you're definitely going to get, even if you pay the bond. So he's telling her, you can either pay the bond or you can have these special conditions where, you cannot go to the cities. It could be Mississippi. That would be cool, wouldn't it? You cannot go to the city's buildings. She's not allowed there anymore, and she wasn't allowed there. She's in jail because she went there again. I think she Karened out on them. I don't know.
They may own some sidewalks or some right of ways or something there that as a citizen, you've got the right to use. And I don't see that being a problem, but you can't go in their offices where this allegedly occurred at. Do you understand your choice between go ahead, Mr. McDaniel.
I think she understood. So I went over that. And I know you had mentioned earlier the husband was there. Could I call him as a, counter witness, I guess, to this complaint?
Sure. Sir, Mr. McDaniel wants to ask you a few questions. Do you mind coming up and giving some information?
That's your dad?
Your wife's attorney thinks you might have some helpful information to help her case. Do you want to come on up? So if you'll come up here, sir, in front of the microphone, you may have some information that helps her situation. Okay.
Man, that Chris
So what I'm gonna
bothers
do
me.
is place you under
Doesn't that Chris bother you guys? Oh, hi, Chris.
with your name, sir.
Eric Wilson.
Mr. Wilson, let me get you to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. McDaniel.
Mr. Wilson, were you with Miss Wilson yesterday prior to her arrest?
I was.
And prior to her arrest, did you witness or did you help call Jackson County Dispatch about meeting them there to pick up her check?
No, I wasn't.
You was not present there. Were you with her when she went to her father's house before she went to the city?
I was on my way there. We were on the phone in communication.
You were on the phone with
I
communication
did.
about what? Or
With my wife at the time.
oh, okay. And where
It
did you
was
meet
a
her at?
joke.
At the city hall.
At City Hall. So who was there with you?
I was at my dad's house.
Was he there?
My dad was at his house and he
Okay,
know
all right,
that
all right,
when I
okay,
left.
okay. So, no further questions. I guess let me ask her father a question then.
Okay, thank you, sir. Well, let me see. Hang on, Ms. Jeffcoat, any questions for Mr. Wilson? Thank you, sir.
Get ready, guys.
Sir, to her father, her attorney would like to ask you a few questions. He thinks you may have some helpful information. If you don't mind coming up.
He is coming.
That's when I,
And your name, sir? Your name?
Wait.
Your name?
Willie Baldwin.
Mr. Baldwin, let me get you to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
you know,
That's
Mr. Baldwin, your daughter's attorney is going to ask you a couple of questions. Your daughter's attorney is going to ask you a couple of questions. He's on the video right there, right here,
Mr. Baldwin,
right over here.
Mr. Baldwin, did your daughter go to your house yesterday prior to the arrest?
tell me not to talk loud.
He said that-
8 years old.
He said, did your daughter go to your house before she was arrested yesterday?
Tell me what?
Did your daughter go to your house? Was your daughter at your house before she was
Yeah.
arrested? What
Yes,
happened?
sir.
What do you know about it, sir?
Huh?
What do you know about the situation?
Where I live at.
What do you know about the situation with your daughter?
I don't know nothing about it. I don't even go around.
I love him.
Mr. McDaniel, we're getting a hearing device in case you want to ask Mr. Baldwin any more questions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This will help you hear. This will help you hear a little bit better.
Okay.
Can you hear me through that device? Can you hear me okay, sir?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Okay, Mr. McDaniel, I don't know that device is going to come out when you speak, but it might. It's connected to our microphones in the courtroom. We'll try it and see.
Mr. Baldwin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Mr. Baldwin, your daughter was at your house yesterday. Do you know you recall what she was there for?
You told me to tell me about what was going on down at the city hall.
And she had called the police, I guess, to meet her down there to get her checked?
That's exactly right.
And were you outside when the police drove by your house and then is that what happened? The police drove by the house and then she followed the police to the location?
She had called the police.
That's all right.
Molasses.
Yeah, I don't have any other questions. I
Peanut butter.
just think he's gonna have.
Tar.
Ms. Jeff, have any questions for Mr. Baldwin?
Just briefly, Mr. Baldwin, do you know which police agency your daughter called?
Huh?
Do you know which police agency your daughter called? Was it the police department or the sheriff's department?
Sheriff's Department.
Okay. And did you hear?
What I see now, when I got on there, the sheriff was talking with her husband,
Uh-huh.
and that's all I see.
Okay. But before that, did you hear her make the phone call to the police?
No.
You didn't hear that? Okay. All right. I don't have any other questions.
Mr. Baldwin,
Yes,
Mr. Baldwin, had she already been and tried to get her check before she came to your house?
I would say, I don't know now. I don't
You don't know?
nothing
Okay.
about that.
All right, thank you, sir.
See, I go
Judge,
to
I did
Diana
ask-
this morning.
Okay,
So
Judge, I
was
did ask
dead in
that.
the bed mostly all day.
I'm sorry, say that again, Mr. McDaniel?
Judge, I did ask her and she emphatically denied that she had been up to the, she's telling me that she did not go up there before. She had called the sheriff's office, went to her father's house and waited for them. And when they drove by, she drove over there and met them. And that's what transpired, but that's,
All right, thank you, Mr. Baldwin.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mr. McDaniel, Ms. Wilson, the complaint alleges that Ms. Blunt, a city employee, said Ms. Wilson was contacted and told her check was at the office. Her check was at the office, but not to come. She would need to send her husband to pick it up due to the trespass warning that she came anyway, but left and then came back while the officer was on scene. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's what the complaint says. That's probable cause for trespass.
I told
And her
her,
offer is a conditional release or a bond. I'm not going to give her an ROR when there's probable cause.
I guess, 'cause I told the woman that.
That's all right. We'll take the
My
condition.
daughter-
That's all right. She'll take the conditional
So,
release, Your Honor.
Ms. Wilson, we're going to grant you the conditional release. The conditions of every conditional release are the same, ma'am, with a few additional, in some cases, there's additional conditions, but every conditional release has to call in once a week, pay a cost of supervision.
I want to find this state and go spend time with that man so badly.
Stay out of trouble, no new law violations, don't miss any court dates, and in your particular case, have no contact with the city property, the city of Jacob. And to be clear about that, when I say no contact with their property, I mean their buildings. Can't go in their buildings. So what's going to happen next, ma'am, is they're going to let you get dressed. Then they're going to bring you to the courthouse because that's where the conditional release office is at. That's where you're at this morning, sir. It'll usually take about 30 minutes to get her dressed and get her back here. And then she'll meet with one of the conditional release officers. That may take 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most, and she'll be free to go. Is someone going to be able to pick her up downstairs? Your husband says he'll be there to pick you up, ma'am, so you don't have to worry about transportation. Ms. Wilson, do you have any questions?
No.
No, Your Honor.
You don't want
And
to talk
sir,
to nobody
gentlemen, do you have
anymore.
any questions? Any questions? The other thing we're going to do is when she gets here, we'll go ahead and give her notice for a court date. That way we don't have to worry about it getting lost in the mail or anything. When will her court date be, Dawn? August 26th at 9 a.m. will be your court date, Miss Wilson, and they'll get you to sign for that notice when you get here. Wish you the best, ma'am. Thank y'all for coming. And typically it's about a half hour for them to get her processed out and get her up here. Okay. We have Jason Porter next. Mr. Porter, good morning. Mr. Porter, you're here for first appearance for 2 additional charges other than the one you're already facing. One is failure of a sex offender to properly register every 6 months. The other is the failure of a sex offender to properly register with his driver's license office. And I read the complaint. There is probable cause, although the timing of these cases is unusual. Mr. Gus, did you say he's on the docket for the 3rd charge, or he's already on?
He doesn't do anything weird. I just like what the judge did here. I loved what the judge does here.
On the docket for these 2, and the warrant just wasn't served.
All the charges, August 13th, the arraignment.
2 cases we have warrant on, they weren't served.
So he's already on the docket, Mr. McDaniel?
All the cases. He's on there for arraignment August 13th.
This one.
Okay.
And that judge, that last warrant was just
I had to
served
sneeze.
about 20 minutes ago.
When you
So
say the
all the
last one, what last one are we talking about?
Well, they
You had
served
3
one
or 4?
last night.
There's
He
2
had-
additional ones. They served one, but they hadn't served the second one, but they just served it.
Right.
Okay. So the part I don't understand is the complaints in February, then the second complaint's in May, then the arrest is in June, and then everything gets filed. The state files the first 2 in August. Ms. Jeffcoat, I don't know when they went to your office. I have no idea.
One of them
But,
went earlier and had 2 charges, but there was a problem with one of the charges. And so we were trying to figure out whether they had gone to look for him at the correct address. And we elected not to actually pursue that charge and just pursue the driving charge. But by that time, he, I guess, picked up additional.
So, Mr. Porter, the law enforcement agency in this case, whatever agency it was, did not ask for a warrant for your arrest in February. They sent a complaint in. So that leads me to believe they must not have been too concerned about you. They didn't know where you were at, but they weren't concerned enough to seek an arrest warrant. They simply sent a complaint in. I don't see the point in making you post an additional bond on charges that were sitting there for months and no one proceeded with. So I'm not going to make you post an additional bond in these cases. I'm going to give you a notice to appear in these cases, and these 2 new ones I'm talking about, the 2 older ones. You've got a bond on the one that I set you a bond on from I guess June 28th when it allegedly occurred. The 2 older ones that happened before the end, I'm not going to make you post a bond on those. I just don't think that's appropriate under the circumstances. Mr. McDaniel, what date does his notice to appear need to be on for those other 2?
They're all set for arraignment August 13th.
August
They're
13th
already-
needs to be his notice to appear. So just to be clear, you will not be in jail on those 2. You'll be in jail the one that you have the bond on. If you post the bond, you'll be released, but you've got the same court date for all of them.
So he's like, yeah, if you guys aren't even going to indict something that happened in January, why would I put a bond on it to make him sit in jail while you guys maybe indict it? No, he says that no, the prosecutor's not going to indict it. I'm not going to put a bond on it. Isn't that awesome? Listen, Tokyo, that would be like a 6-hour stream. So, okay. So it takes me a day to get 2 hours. You want me to find 6 hours of content now, because it's the stream right now. I mean, I bet I could do it, but no, we are not going to do that. We are not streaming. I was thinking of for members only one day, just streaming all the hours I spend in just finding 2 hours of content, just streaming what I go through. But you guys would go freaking crazy because I put courts on like double speed to get through them as fast as possible and like 3 at a time. Because you can hear when something's about to happen or something's happening. So I got 3 I got my, well, 4, I got my TV, I got my computers running all on double speed so I can hear something and then I stop everything. Oh, that sounds interesting. So that would drive you crazy. Plus, a lot of the times I might accidentally fall asleep while I'm doing it. So then I have to rewind everything and I have to start it all over again and hope I don't fall asleep the second time. If I fall asleep more than twice or 3 times, then I just say, screw it, and I go to bed. And then I get up and I do the same thing. Um, but I was thinking about doing that, but really, you guys wouldn't. It wouldn't be fun for anybody. You guys would go crazy, turn it off. I don't know why. I think she did it on purpose. She hates us. I don't know. Listen, I go through some nasty bad cases. Some of these cases are really, really, oh man, bad. Um, and there's no way I would be able to prevent you from hearing it because I haven't heard it yet. Like you're watching when I'm watching. So you really could see some stuff that you don't want to see. But on the flip side, you guys watch court cases. So if you get offended over a certain this type of crime or this type of crime, maybe you shouldn't watch court cases because it's criminal. That's what it is. Or I guess some are civil. Most of these are criminal cases though, and criminals break the law and you can't pick and choose what laws you get to cover. You cover whatever comes in front of the from the judge. So, I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I don't know. All right. Let's go. Let's stay with Judge Mercer for one more. For one more tantrum. We're going to have a tantrum.
Williams next. Mr. Williams, good morning. Mr. Williams, you're here for first appearance in case number 24-176 CT. The charges are driving while license suspended or revoked and expired driver's license more than 6 months. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. I'm going to ask that you listen to Mr. McDaniel.
Your Honor, I spoke to Mr. Williams and he wanted to address the court. So I was going to let him, I know he turned himself in yesterday, but I was going to let him address the court.
Okay. Mr. Williams?
Judge, I just wanted to ask, I'm working on getting my license back in Alabama. I should have them back within a week or two. I didn't mean to miss this court. It was a big misunderstanding when I missed that court date. I really need some help. I'm trying to get everything together. I got a family. I'm trying to take care of my 2 kids. I'm working. I just need a little bit more time, and I am going to get them back and get all this situated.
Mr. Williams, there's a note in the system that says June 11th, Michelle Williams called and said you got confused about the arraignment date. Ms. Williams was advised that you were given a handwritten notice, and that based upon that, you need to turn yourself in. Looks like 6 days later, she advised you would turn yourself in to be put on the first appearance docket. That was almost 2 months ago. So would you like to tell me what's happened between June 17th, when your mother said you were going to turn yourself in, and August 7th, when you finally did?
Yes, my mom was in the hospital for a month, and we had a lot going on. And I was talking to my bondsman, and he told me that I didn't have to turn myself in. And then 2 days ago, he told me that I did, and that he'd be able to get me back out. We'd be able to get it all handled. And that's why I turned myself in, because I didn't know really.
Okay, I don't accept that. You were given a written notice. Your mother was, I'm not sure why your mother's making the phone call instead of you. First of all, especially if she's sick. And then when she's told to turn yourself in, you didn't do it. So you're going to be held with no bond until this case is resolved, because I don't have much faith you're going to show back up if you get out. So Mr. McDaniel, where do we stand?
I promise I will. Can you please work with me?
I'm not letting you out. I'm not letting you out again. I did that once, and it took me months to get you back in custody. Mr. McDaniel, where do we stand? Let's see. Yes. Is that? I I didn't know they were still in business. They've closed this office here, but they're still in business.
Dude, you need to breathe.
Mr. McDaniel, we can just see him tomorrow. He's got no bond for right now. If he wants to take a plea offer, that's okay. We'll see him tomorrow if he wants to do that. But you've got no bond based upon the circumstances.
Your Honor, I think he's ready to go ahead and accept it. Enter a plea if the court is willing to accept it.
Don't worry, he's going to retaliate.
I don't have a problem with it. It's the exact same offer he was made 4 months ago. Exactly the same. If he wants to take it, it's okay. If he doesn't, that's okay.
Correct.
Mr. Williams, listen to your attorney, Mr. Williams, and we'll see if you want to resolve this or not.
Your Honor, he's going to plead of no contest to the charges as listed in 24-176T. The understanding he'll be sentenced to 60 days in the county jail. He'll have a $400 fine, which hopefully he'll work off. In the trustee bay, he'll have 3 days jail credit, 2 from the first arrest and 1 from last night. That will resolve. He's going to sign his jury trial.
Why you gotta do this to me, man?
I'm not accepting the plea. You need to go back to the holding cell. We'll set your next court date. All right. So, Mr. McDaniel, what date do you want to put him on the jail arraignment docket?
I think that's all we have, Your Honor.
Lawyer is cool as a cucumber, but judge solid, sir.
He didn't damage anything at the jail, did he? Did he, Sergeant?
No, sir, not yet.
All right. When is our next jail arraignment docket?
We got one the 14th and one after that's in September, maybe 3rd, I believe.
Let's put him on the next jail arraignment docket of August 14th, but I don't need to see him before then, Mr. McDaniel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now he's not coming back
today,
until.
Nothing else, Your Honor.
What is today? Monday.
Sergeant, anything
Wednesday.
else from the jail?
No, sir, that's everybody.
Thank you.
Look, if they play it on Wednesday, I'll get it on Wednesday. If they don't play it on Wednesday, I won't get it on Wednesday. I just can't remember what freaking state it's in. It's okay. I'll find it. I will find it. I think he wanted to. But he didn't. All right. We did Eaton. And we did Mercer. Oh, Frank. Let's do Frank. Did we do Frank? No, we did Frank and we did Mercer. So we're going to do Eaton next. So Judge Eaton usually does more heinous crimes than what we normally are used to. So we're not going to see, DUIs and domestic violence. It's worse in Eaton's courtroom. The reason that we're seeing this is because the prosecutor. Sorry, I just rubbed my microphone and I hate when people do that. The prosecutor is going to make you want to drink as much as you can. Even you, Kelly. All right, let's just go. Let's just get through this.
Says Christina.
Yes, sir.
Do you know her last name?
No, sir. I don't remember.
Did she know about this today, or do you know she knew about it, or?
Yes, sir. I think she knew. Yes, sir.
Well, all I can do is we've got 6 cases. I can have you go back if she shows up within that timeline. We'll bring you back out and discuss it. If not, we're going to have to reset your case because you can't. You got to have representation. So
I know it's just the microphone, but if she had a streak of silver in her hair right there, it would be like Aaliyah badass. But when she moves and the microphone goes over here, it looks really cool. But she doesn't. She's not going to listen to me anyway. She's going to keep her hair like that. It just would be very pretty.
Yes, sir. Will I be able to use a phone to try and contact her?
Okay, so she's going to reach out to your attorney, and we're going to send you back for a minute. We'll update you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Solomon. Christina Sears, okay.
Oh, Your Honor, also on position 6,
There
just
she
in case
is.
the case that is the crimes against children's case, 88 Dion Peoples will be handling that case.
Okay,
He'll be here shortly. He's finishing up in Judge Thomas.
okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and move to Braxton then, position 2. Mr. Edie? Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Mr.
how are you?
Edie does a great job.
Your Honor, if I may, during downtime, position number 5 was also recently indicted to Judge Richardson. I actually am assigned that case next door. I don't know if he was produced, but Mr. Freeman was indicted, so we won't be needing to hear that.
Okay. So he'll be assigned Richardson's PD then?
Which is actually me, Your Honor. He knows.
Oh, okay. All right, so I won't need to bring him out then. You've already
I've
communicated.
already
it
seen him
still.
at the
Okay,
jail, and he's scheduled
okay.
to report with us on
Okay, okay, all right.
And Judge, for
Is he coming to the
consideration,
podium? Or are you having a seat?
let's see. For consideration, I have 2 letters of characterization forms. I gave one to the,
Yeah, let me take a look at it. All right, let's see here. So you've got, all right, so this is 24P1004537. We have Mr. Braxton Johnson, who's present in the courtroom, joined by his attorney, Mr. Edie. And we have Ms. Clark representing the state. Everybody's present in the courtroom. Go ahead, Mr. Edie.
thank you, Your Honor.
So you're fine with your client sitting at the table? Okay.
Your Honor, just to address the y'all factors here, I just start with the basis that Mr. Braxton here before you is 21 years old, with the charges that you have there before you have 1 count. Been in, I believe, since about June at this time. So the risk that we have here that we just addressed there is he actually is born in Alabama, had plans on moving here. He was here at the time of meeting with a few family members to help him in the process of looking around some places to find an address, which he was able to obtain therefore later and after with his mom. So there's high intentions that he will be here upon him getting a bond, and that a residence at the location here, if the court was to grant a bond to allow him to be stayed here in Atlanta, that would be 100% plausible to do so, and that address can be provided to you as his mom and his dad is right here to the left of me, if you may stand. I have traveled to every court appearance here, maybe see that, in representation and as far as working with me and my office and his representation. So we oppose that he's not a flight risk, Your Honor, and that he has intentions on coming to every court case, every court appearance upon being released for a given bond at any moment as part of getting. We understand that there's some tests and things done, so we do assume that, and I may be wrong, but high assumption that this case may take some time to go out throughout getting tests and lab results that actually coming from different states. The results and stuff was tested back in Tennessee. So we don't know that process and how long that may take. So we asked that would be strong into consideration. So I would pose that he's not a flight risk. As I go on to prong 2, Your Honor, I would pose that he's not a significant risk, a danger to the community, as he has 2 self-centered jobs that he's been working. One of them is the familiar with Toro cars, in which he has 3 cars in which he works with a family member as well. And they rent out Toro cars, highly expensive cars, and which was doing very great in the business of doing so here in Atlanta throughout the summer. He's been doing that for about 2 years. He started off that process by actually just working at cleaning cars at a cleaning car service, and then worked his way up. So he has a fascination for cars. I do believe that in the process, he do anticipate going to get some type of certified mechanic degree to do so. He is a high school graduate, has no kids, and then no criminal background, which leads me into prong 3. Obviously, any risk to commit any felony while out on bond. He has no criminal background, has never been arrested, nothing in sight of even maybe a few parking tickets, speeding tickets, and I would be justified by saying that I'm actually guessing in that aspect, and I don't believe that is to be true, that he has a clear background in that aspect. So the only thing to predict the future, again, other than the allegations itself, is what's in his background.
I love when I'm on trial or I'm in front of a judge for a heinous crime and my lawyer's up there guessing about my life.
Background is a clean slate. Going on to the last prong, Your Honor, which is the arrest to intimidate any witnesses and things of that nature. Now, I'll try not to ease too much into the facts. I was able to conduct the preliminary hearing. It was a thorough investigation being done. So my understanding from what I have learned at the investigation, and please cut me off if you feel like I'm going too far into the facts, but I just want to give out a few things that I found to be very important. That the communication with the female individual here at this point was someone that they met online. They had some distinctive communications via Instagram before leading into text messages. So I would pose that he's not a risk to intimidate her because they don't have any prior relationship before then. And that my understanding of what was communicated within that was for services. And what it just took as the belief that services was to be rendered in some type of form of payment later down the line is what we have. And then it was to no form of satisfaction from one party to the other, which then led to a 2-week or week time frame being passed by and going all the way home to Tennessee before she decided to then cry out after attempting to reach out to say, can I get my form of payment to her satisfaction? Wasn't done so. Rate was great. She ended up getting a DNA test. So yes, we have would be no objection that it was consensual sex to the other portion of what we have, and then something just went bad. So we'll say that he has no communication with her. Actually, him blocking her or deleting her is what led to after the allegations, because as long as she was able to communicate with him and try to get something out, there was nothing. Once he communicated, blocked, ultimately we end up with that. So we'll say that he is no risk to intimidate the witness. He does not know her. He's okay with 100% stay away. Any communications from her, any third parties, there's a few numbers that he will probably be able to provide that was being called from other people that was in her distinction. So we can get those numbers to put those on blocks. So ultimately, Your Honor, I'll say that it looks to me that he satisfies all 4 prongs as we go down the list of Ayala factors. And again, we're here to determine obviously on him being able to show back up for court, be able to answer the charges as before him, in which I believe he is in essence to do so. His family is in full support to do so. Has some great letters of recommendations. One of them are characterization letters come from a police officer himself who actually have been working with him as a rearing person. So he has a lot of male figures, which is something that tends to lack in the community. So what I give you before as his father was actually his stepfather who raised him and then have his father in his life. And now another police officer who has been more of an ideal type of person. So other than that, I think he's a great ideal candidate for bond. So we're asked for a bond not to exceed $75,000. The reason why I asked for that number is when I come and ask for bonds, I tend to not want to feel like I'm a waste of the court's time. I'm giving you a number that I believe the family can come up with. We have discussions about, and that can be posted. So you won't have to give me a bond and then have me coming back 45 days later saying, hey, Ms. Edie, you asked for this bond and now you want a reduction because the family can't make it, which make this hearing all fruitful. So in that case, not to exceed $75,000, that bond will be able to be posted within a reasonable amount of time and then allow him to move on to his family, move on with his life, and then honestly get to the purpose of preparation to be able to defend himself in this case, which we believe will be carried all the way out through with the not guilty plea. So that's what I would have for you. And again, we have no objections to anything that the court may impose there and after, such as any type of curfew, ankle monitor for the time being, which then puts the thorn on his head to actually abide by any rule that you may put in. If he was not to follow those things, he comes back before you for a revocation and it's all on him. So we ask that the bond not to exceed $75,000. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Clark.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Here we go, guys.
Your
Here
Honor,
we go.
despite counsel office's claim to the contrary, this defendant is the definition of a high risk when that is outlined in the Ayala factors. The defendant is, first of all, is poses no significant risk, the first factor of Ayala factor. He does pose a significant risk of fleeing from the jurisdiction of the court. in the pretrial, pretrial report for pretrial services, he does have an FTA, one FTA, where he has in a prior instance, he has failed to appear for a court proceeding. In prior instances, he has failed to appear. Next, poses a significant risk to commit significant risk to persons or property. Based on the nature of the charges in this case, Your Honor, this is not a crime of criminal damage to property in this case. And the violent nature of the crime, based on the charges in this case, and the circumstances behind the case, the defendant poses a risk. Your Honor, also, the letters of recommendation here that have been provided by counsel, the state challenges the authentication of these letters that are actually copies that we don't know where these letters are from. We also, the fact that the defendant is from out of state, counsel opposite indicated that the defendant does not have a job. He has no community ties. He's from out of state. He is not employed here. He's not employed. He did not indicate that he is employed in Alabama, for that matter. This is not these alleged recommendation letters. It's not from an employer. There is a risk of intimidation of the witness, the victim in this case, because there was a contact that was made where these individuals met online, and this was their first encounter where they met in person for the first time. This defendant took advantage of their first encounter.
Okay, so it sounds like what happened was he hit up this girl on Insta, and they were talking about him paying for sex. And then she met up with him. They had sex and he didn't pay, or he didn't pay enough, or she wanted more after the fact. That's what happened. And this lawyer, this prosecutor could go so many directions with this, but she does
Or meeting in person, which indicates that this individual is a threat to society.
Well, that's a little bit of a circular argument. I mean, those are your charges, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, Your Honor, to your point, Your Honor, you may view it as a circular argument, but Your Honor, based on the evidence that was presented at the preliminary hearing, that was the preliminary hearing that was held in this case on July 18th, there was probable cause that was found by the Superior Court in this case.
Probable cause is so easy. It's so easy. The bar is so low.
No.
That rose above a circular argument that found that it was sufficient grounds to keep this defendant held in custody. So, Your Honor, in this case, being that the defendant knows who the victim is in this case, being that the defendant has failed to appear for a prior court hearing.
But I mean, you didn't specify, was it what court, where, what was the what was the failure to appear?
One moment, Your Honor.
You're going to have another you're gonna have an opportunity to respond, so.
I would like an opportunity to respond as well, please, sir. Just give up. You're doing good. Just stop it here before it gets worse.
I just have a copy of the pretrial report. I can get that information. I can provide a copy of the court, a copy of the pretrial report that has the FTA on here.
Nah,
He
he
if the court will
knows.
give me a few moments, I can provide the specific FTA.
Yeah, I mean, since you brought it up, I mean, to me, an FTA isn't necessarily binary. I mean, I'd like to know a little bit of the background on that
And I
before we,
understand
The other attorney knows the answer and will provide in a moment.
But in all fairness, Your Honor, most of the time, if you refer back to when you did have criminal court, we would normally have a pretrial person here. Or
yeah, no, and I get it. And this is preliminary and there's
Right.
not a lot of information from either side, but I guess let's just move on and let me hear what the defendant has to say.
Right, but what I'm saying is this pretrial report is available to the pretrial services, and a pretrial person would normally be here, and that pretrial person could look it up and actually provide us the actual specific FTA, because this report is available to them. We don't have a pretrial person here because you're on family court side now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like this is something that is normally available, but you don't do criminal court. So,
Yeah.
but if you,
Well, it is what it is. Let me hear from the defendant at this point.
Yes, Your Honor. And the start.
and the factual, before you respond, the factual basis, I had no intention of referring to the facts, but counsel opposite did refer to the facts of the incident, but probable cause was established.
Well, I get that. We wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't. He delved into the facts a bit just as it related to intimidation of the witness. I would have stopped him if I felt like it went.
Right.
It's sort of irrelevant to me anyway, because I'm a family law judge who just is having a preliminary bond hearing. It won't be my case. So there's no point in foreshadowing the ultimate case here with me. But go ahead, Mr. Eady.
Yes, Your Honor. And to find that case, as stated before, that I believe if it was anything, it was a speeding ticket, and to put it on me if it wasn't. I did find that ticket. It's a ticket here in Atlanta Municipal Court. The court date was for 7/11/2024. The first arraignment, the ticket was a speeding ticket and a seatbelt ticket. He was cited on 6/18/2024 and had his arraignment on 7/11/2024. And that was in the Atlanta Municipal Court, which was, I believe, just quite a few days before the arrest here. And it just happens to say that the address on file, I guess it just like sent back, but it was.
So there was a failure to appear associated with the speeding ticket.
With a speeding ticket, yes.
Okay.
And I have that here on, you can go on the NC
Okay.
courts.
All
The
right.
case number,
No, this is not family court. This is a criminal court. Judge Eaton doesn't ever, like, he doesn't post videos anymore. He used to do, I have videos from way back. He did murders and cases like this and cases with children, like all of that. He moved over to family court, but now he's just pro tem here in the criminal court. Just, I don't know, for a week, for a day, just like Judge Ross did, Judge Fleischer's court all last week. So, this is going forward to the new criminal judge who doesn't stream, and he's going back to family court, which he does not stream.
You're represented by counsel, so I'd rather just hear from the counsel.
24 TRs.
In the end, it's going to help you anyway. That's why you hired him. He knows what he's doing.
Yes, so 3982 would be that case number. So that would be the, if it was a FT, and again, I was to say to put it on me if that was something else on there. And just to address the last two issues that I, again, wanted to bring up, it seems as if the big issue is more so of his ties and community here. He also have expressed, and I failed to mention, so that he has very high intentions on going to the military. And again, he do have a job and he has family here in which he would move here to help his family out, which they were able to legally, which they have been doing for quite some time, for my understanding, the last 2 years, and have been doing good within that business to be able to maintain himself. Rental cars, in which is very similar to Airbnb instead of hotels, the Airbnb, the car version of it, in which they have 3 cars. He started off as cleaning cars, and then they have Airbnbs, which is something that's very big here in Atlanta with the kind of things that they do. So he was able to establish that. He has expressed that he wants to move into the military. Again, at 21 years old, we're not here to establish that he has some type of hierarchy type of a job. He's beginning his life. He wants to be able to establish what he's doing. Afforded that opportunity, Judge. And what we're asking you for here today is to allow him to continue that opportunity to be somewhat of a productive citizen. And if there's any opposition to it, then the court has those means to be able to let him know that if you are not able to do those things, these are your consequences, such as any type of classes, curfews, only be able to meet with your attorney for the purposes of X, Y, and Z, obtain a job if you needed to have a 9-to-5 job with a taxable employee type of thing. He's able to give that opportunity, and that's actually up to the court to do so rather than just actually leaving him in here to sit for some time. And again, the alleged victim in this case lives in Tennessee, has no ties here.
Where would he stay? Where would he be staying?
Go for 1 second, John. The address is 741 Simon, Simon, Park Circle. And that is the first cousin to his mom. Confirm that address, that he would be allowed to stay there for that opportunity. And again, for the first 90-day, Judge, if you decided that you wanted to put a 24-hour curfew to abide by him being here and attempting to do anything of the sort that would be not in conveyance of the court, he's given that opportunity to do so. And we can revisit this back in 90 days if the bonds was to say that he hasn't been in compliance of anything. So a curfew would not be a reach to put and apply on to him to be having a ankle monitor to be paid for by the state to do so. And then afterwards, if he is able to obtain a job to the satisfaction of the court, we can come back, revisit, send you those documents, and that will allow for him to be able to just move around from the period of whether it's 8 to 6, 9 to 5, whatever those hours to get to court, to get to work and back to work, we can be able to do so. It basically puts the thorn on his head to show you he's able to abide by what you will be asking for, Judge, and that's the purpose of here today.
I'm not sure the state's even paying for ankle monitors though now, or they fixed that.
Understood. And
well, I see Ms. Clark, you're itching for another bite. What, go ahead, Ms. Clark.
Your Honor, the state can appreciate the fact that the first cousin of the mom but we don't know who this first cousin is. And whether this person is a convicted felon, anything about this person, whether verification of this, or we need to be able to be assured if there is like no verification of what this person is going to be doing, we need to be able to be assured of the fact the state is not being able, we're not funding the ankle monitor. This individual does not have a job at this point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've heard those arguments already. So I'm going to give him bond. I'm going to set it at $100,000. He's going to be on 24-hour ankle monitor. That's going to be up to him. And he's going to, 24-hour curfew with an ankle monitor at this address that you gave me. No social media, no drugs or alcohol, no weapons. What else am I missing as far as conditions, Ms. Clark?
And also, Your Honor, we would be asking for $100,000 good bond.
Yes, $100,000 good bond. And what other conditions have I missed with that you would?
No social media.
No social media. No contact with the victim, any family members of the victim, or any other witnesses or possible witnesses to the crime, either direct or indirect, to the alleged crime. Am I missing anything else?
Just basically that if no curfew.
I've got him on 24-hour
okay, 24
house
hours.
arrest with an ankle monitor.
Think you covered it, Judge.
Okay.
And upon him getting a job, we can submit that to the court, which will.
Well, I'll given that some of these indictments have run slow. You alluded to it. If it's still unindicted, I'll give you the opportunity to come back in 3 months.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and will you send the bond order to Ms. Robinson?
Will do.
Okay. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So if it's not indicted in 90 days, then he can get a job. But it's pretty high bond. It's a pretty high bond that he's going to have to struggle to get. I think we're good. I'm just double checking. Okay, it's time for Fleischer. So I went back to like a month ago. And I'm pretty sure we stopped here a month ago. Oh, wait, I gotta unmute him. Okay. I do the same thing every day. So I think we stopped here a month ago. But since it was a month ago, we're not going to remember. So let's just start from here. Tracy's there. I don't know if this little thing right here is Logan's head or not. Can't really tell. Maybe that's Pavel. We'll find out. Yeah, they're all staring at us. Hi, guys. Wave. Wave to us. We're talking to you. This judge has a parrot. All right.
DVR. I know they just have not.
Let me send her an email and see if she could zoom on real quick.
Well, we need them here.
But also, right, to see if we can bring them in, Friday, the latest?
Yep.
Okay, so then how about that? I send her an email or
Yeah.
call her and tell her Friday, the latest. And then I'll get with William to transfer both back to us.
Will?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gonna get
I'll
with
do that.
Will?
And then
This was when he had like 200 subscribers. Oh, that person I called Logan is actually a little boy.
oh, she picked up in the case.
Oh, look, she's set to be here
Look at the
6:20.
security guard sitting down.
So
Move,
you want me to put
lady.
the other one on there as
Hi.
SFPF?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me go get that case number on Williams.
So, hey, I'll tell you.
Okay,
And
let me
his
grab
watch
that
band.
Is he still there? Sounds like he's still there, Judge.
Yes, we all have everything.
It's third attempt. Well, permission to be excused in 15 minutes.
Of course, yeah, and you can always zoom in, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
There were 3 mods then, 3. It was time served, it was Colin, it was me. But only 1 mod showed up every day. Ugh.
Gotcha, we know how to find it.
Thank you. I'll wait.
I don't, but you don't have to, you can always zoom too, really.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Back then, we had a Sarah in chat. Yep, we had our own Sarah in a blue dress.
Um.
Tracy's got a fan. That's what I expect to see in Texas.
How can I help you?
Oh, no, I'm just waiting for the pleas, Judge. These are both on the 2 people that were brought into custody today. Ready with the smoke? Come on over this one. Gentlemen, slide down for me. Yes, sir. I'm Mr. Tejada and Mr. Moses, Judge.
Okay.
Victoria stuck like Chuck.
Okay. Mr. Tejada, you got to understand that we don't ask much from you. We really don't. Only thing you have to do, the only thing you have to do is show up. And if you show up, good things happen.
Sir.
You're already on your what, 3rd time that you failed to appear? I cannot possibly continue to give you PR bond after PR bond because it goes against everyone who actually does do well and shows up. Not only that, your case is 236 days old. We can't continue to, no, sorry, stuck, but it's not that hard. Other people are suffering far worse and still shut. So just for you, because you're going through a divorce more than 3 times you failed to appear, no, really. You're charged with illegal dumping. What have you worked out?
2-4.
So it's 2 days in jail, credit for 4 or 4 days?
No, 2
Two?
days with 4 days credit.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm sure, yes, sir.
Okay, understand that, what's going to happen now is this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there forever. You can never take this off. Once you do this, you're stuck. Understand? Well, also the reason is because from now on, you'll be facing a minimum of 30 days in jail if you ever pick up anything else in the future. Do you understand? Okay. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, right to be arraigned, charged with the court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once you do this, you give up the right to appeal. You can never come back and change this or undo this. You will be stuck with this. It'll be on your record forever. You understand? You still want to do this? Okay. How do you plead to the offense of illegal dumping?
Guilty, sir.
I will find you guilty. Sentence you to 2 days in jail. I will give you credit for the 4 days that you've done. Good luck to you, sir. This is Mr.
Mosley, Judge.
What other criminal history does Mr. Mosley have?
Let's see, in 2018, he has an identity theft where he pled to 5 years. There was a
Whoa,
gambling.
whoa, whoa. Say that again?
In 2018, he had an identity theft in Clay County. Where
Did he get 5 years TDC on it?
That I don't know, Judge. I can pull up the his FBI number to get a more accurate thing, but.
Yeah, could you, because, you know, I'm not down for you just to plead guilty, just to get a conviction, just to get you out. You know, I don't want you to just plead guilty, just to plead guilty, you know?
It wasn't just to get me out. I had the other case in, what's name? I don't want to give you a lot of sad stories. It's just a lot going on. And if I don't get that help, my wife with the kids, she gonna lose her job. This is gonna be a domino effect again. We just had to leave Chicago because of the same thing. I just ran all the way. You can take my whole back. I'm from Chicago, so I came out here to change my life, but I was really a bad situation. It's a lot.
But the problem is that that stuff keeps trailing on you.
Yes.
So perhaps it's not the circumstance, perhaps it's you.
No, it was a circumstance, sir. I don't want to bring up the case here because if he tell you about the case, they dropped it all the way down. It was a misunderstanding.
Mostly, the problem is you can go from California, you can go to Chicago, you can go to Abu Dhabi. The fact remains, whatever state you go to, whatever county you go to, you keep picking up criminal cases. That's the point I'm trying to make. Don't matter where you go, look in the mirror. No self-control. Is that what the problem is? It's either that or it's dope.
It was drugs. It was drugs. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was more than that. I was taking more than that.
Yeah. I'm not down with.
I understand. I understand, sir. I'm agreeing with everything you said because it wasn't right. I wasn't right at all.
I don't want you to plead guilty. You know.
If I don't judge, this is my wife and everything. I'm already messed up. I want to accept that.
What other criminal history you got?
It doesn't look like it was TDC time. It looks like it might have been from Georgia. And then.
So now we got Georgia in here too. We got Atlanta too. I mean, what other states are we going to hear from that you got, you know?
Yeah, Chicago, Missouri, here.
He does have the open case in Allen County.
That's what makes me upset, Mr. Mosley, is that, like, I don't know if you're getting it.
I am. That's why, like, the cases I was in, like, with this one, I was just in the car with somebody. I didn't know they got more than a week. He said he
don't. I'm not taking your plea. I'm not, because I don't want you to plead guilty just to get out. I want to work. I want to work a different solution so that we get you to stop picking up criminal cases wherever you go. That's what I want to do.
Would you be willing to give him a personal bond or would you be willing to?
You work today?
I want you to tell me, why is it that you keep picking up cases? What is it?
The company I was keeping. I was running with some bad guys and I let them, after my wife told me.
Shh, please.
Like, when you went to my home, I still did, and it cost me. I thought after she gave up everything and ran, I still let somebody come around. It cost me. That's why I was willing to accept like anything you did, because I knew it was 100% my fault.
Where do these, who are they? Where do they live?
They went back home. He actually incarcerated for murder right now. And back to
I mean,
Chicago.
do you think that's good company to keep?
No,
I mean, what the flip, man? For real?
When we from Jersey, it wasn't no like mother or father. They was on our head.
You have kids?
So
I mean, you should be there for the kids and no one else. You know, when you're single, it's about you. You can do whatever you want. When you get married, it's about your wife. But when you have kids, your life's not yours anymore, man. It's about your kids. That's the only thing that should matter in your life now, and trying to better yourself so that your kids don't end up like you. I mean, think about this. Would you want your daughter to bring someone like you home? Straighten up and fly right, man. So how do we get?
I'm trying to find something.
Give me. What do we do so that we stop the cycle?
Well, tell you the truth, we always to make it seem like I'm trying to take a joke of this, but well, I had something to ask you before. Even if how this was gonna work out, I was still gonna ask you because I see like it's something I did in school, but I don't know if like you can pay attention to it because how your work go. But like you was a big deal on Instagram, and like I worked Instagram, YouTube pages. I was actually like, can I actually work for your YouTube page or something if you don't have one?
Oh.
I mean, that's another thing. That's neither here nor there, but no.
First concern is your safety and then your kids, and that's it.
I stay in a good part of Texas.
So let's do this. I don't want to do anything with him today. I'm gonna let you get out. But I want to know what we can do so that you don't pick up any more cases. What do we, no drugs, no alcohol? Do we need anger management? What is it that we need to address so that it stops wherever you go? I don't know. So I have to talk to this gentleman here. I want you guys to go back, talk with Mr. Sims. You let me know what we need to do so that the scheisse stops happening. Okay?
So you grant him a personal bond today, Judge?
I will give you a PR bond today if we can work out a solution, how you think it's gonna stop happening. Yeah, if you don't tell me and open up to me, I'm not giving you a PR bond. All right, but let me know.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. I know, I revoked his bond. I was gonna revoke his, I am gonna revoke his bond unless it's something. Okay. So he's done.
Okay, step over this way for me.
Yes, sir.
Start at chin.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buen día, hermanito. Hágase aquí el centro del micrófono. Sí. Solo mira el juez y le contestan en español nada más. ¿Cómo te llamas? Rigoberto Asicchen. Rigoberto Chen. Asicchen Rigoberto. Okay.
Asicchen.
Rigoberto.
I asked you to do two things. I ordered you not to do two things.
Okay, that's the first time I like dad, like I asked you to do two things. I asked you to clean your room and finish your homework. I could just hear him saying that to his kids. I asked you to do two things.
And the most important one, I wanted you to take notice so much that I had you sign a document promising me that you would not drive. And I warned you that if you drove, you would be facing a contempt charge of up to, 30 days in jail and a $500 fine every time. I'm sorry, up to 180 days and a $500 fine every time you drive. And now you stand charged with another DWI. I will now have a contempt hearing. And if they prove to me that you were driving on when this new DWA, when you were arrested, you'll be facing up to 6 months in jail. And if they prove to me that there were multiple times that you were driving, as it stands now, we are here today to have a bail hearing, and I'm going to listen to counsel as to why I shouldn't revoke your bond. Please.
Well, Your Honor, essentially, we're having a hearing where we're gonna revoke the bail and then deny, revoke, and possibly increase the bail on, looks like the case is 249-5240.
See you in a few hours, Melissa.
When it comes to cases like that, we have to follow Texas Rules of Evidence, 101E3C, which basically says that evidence actually has to be provided. So today, I don't believe they're gonna be able to provide any evidence because there's no one here to testify in what he on his new case, or the fact that he was driving, or any of the allegations that are herein, right? So I just feel like he has this new case, it's $20,000. So coupled with the fact that he has an immigration hold that states that he has to stay in. So I don't think that the state is gonna be able to meet anything in which they're gonna be able to show through evidence that he violated his bond.
Judge, I don't have any, I can call the officer. and have them come in.
No, it's okay. I mean, we've done, probable cause has been found. He has an immigration detainer. I mean, bottom line, he picked up another DWI. That's grounds enough for me to revoke the bond on his first case and raise it. Number one. Number two, I am going to now.
I can't remember the last name. Candy, Skittles. Mike O. What was the last name again? I can't remember. It was nice and clean. It was a nice, clean one. Sweets. Thank you. I love sweets.
Serve you with a contempt
I
hearing.
forgot, so thank
And
you.
we will have this next week. I'd like you to please reach out to the officer to see what day would be good next week for us and for defense to have a hearing. See whether they're going to prove and how we can prove that he was driving. If he can come up here and, testify, I would like to have a hearing.
Judge, I'm in ERD next week. So can we do?
I love this part, guys. I love this part. This is Ramona saying, no, don't do it then.
Do it towards the end of the week, maybe?
Of course. I mean, we need to, I also would like to get the officer's schedule as well and Ruben so that we can all come up with one day that would be good. It's not long. It'll be no more than a 20-minute hearing. But I think it's important that, the funny thing, Mr. Asig Chen, all you had to do was two things.
Your Honor, if I may, I would ask that we would not do a contempt hearing if you are finding that he has violated his bond and you're raising his, because I believe that's gonna be, I think it's an either or deal, because I mean, it has to be like direct disrespect.
Happy if you want. I'm leaving this here, but I'm going to have a contempt hearing. I ordered you not to drive, you did, and you picked up a new DWI, allegedly. So we are going to, I want to have this contempt hearing. Absolutely not. It's unacceptable.
Okay, in that case, Your Honor, I asked to avoid the first week of July, because I'm gonna be out of town.
It's gotta be.
And I just feel like also if we could have it like afterwards.
End of next week, maybe the end of next week.
Están tratando de coordinar calendarios, agendas.
So the problem with next week is that I have, I kind of reserved next week for Brazoria and Galveston. So it would. I'm trying to remember what I think the only day I would have available is the 24th for next week. And but I can probably do, July 9th.
Okay, so let's tentatively set it for July 9th. Would you mind reaching out to the officer? See if that's something that he can do. Let him know. I mean, it shouldn't be more than, 20, 30 minutes. Just, he would have to come testify and that's it.
Judge, I did want to ask one more thing.
Sure.
Because so much time will have passed, will you still want to have the hearing?
Yes.
Because they haven't made an offer because it was too early. But you still wouldn't want to have a hearing?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. No, I absolutely think it's important that I stick by what I said, right? Because if I don't, then
Well, there's deficiencies as well, right? At the time, didn't have, I mean, I still don't have an offer, but I don't know if they can even make one based on.
I'm not taking anything, no, I'm not, we will not have, I'm not taking anything until.
Until afterwards. That's the problem. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Sure.
Siga el oficial Pico.
Okay.
Que siga el oficial Pico. Oh, el señor. Pase a la izquierda, hermano.
Don't send him down because we have to serve him, please.
Thanks so much, Your Honor.
Thanks, Ruben.
Judge, I spoke to Mr. Mostly, and he said that maybe anger management class and parenting class.
Mr. Keener, do you have a lawyer today? What you think about that?
I do plan on doing it after the first.
Say it again?
After the first.
After the first, you'll have a lawyer? Okay. What's today's? Okay, I'm cool with that, for sure. Come on.
Appreciate it.
How much time? No.
3 weeks. I'm telling you now that I'm keeping you on an extremely short leash. And the first time you try to
Today starts season 2. We have a cliffhanger.
play me, I will revoke your bond and set it extremely high. I don't care where you are. Do you understand? The only reason I'm not taking you in now is I'm trying to give you a chance to be able to take care of these issues so you stop picking up criminal cases. The only way that's going to happen is if you delve deep into yourself and figure out why it continues to happen. Why do you like to keep the company of murderers and thieves? That's why. You're in a stolen car with someone else. You're hanging out with a murder suspect. This is not a good thing. I'm sending you now for a TRAS to see what conditions you may need. In the interim, I want you to start doing anger management classes. And you must provide proof to me every week. And at the first instance, he comes back to me and tells me, no, he didn't give me anything this week. There goes your bond. Do you understand? You and I will remain in contact on a week-to-week basis. If I've not heard to you or from you, the bond goes quick, and I'm not going to play this game with you. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. And I will keep you in, and I will put you to a treatment facility in the jail if need be. Do you understand? We're going to do this. It's a matter of how we're going to do this. Are we going to do this the easy way, or we're going to do this the hard way? It's going to happen. So if it happens the easy way, it's because of you. If it happens the hard way, it's also because of you. And I promise you, you're not gonna like the hard way. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All I'm asking you to do is take a couple of hours every week, 3 into anger management and parenting classes on a weekly basis and providing proof to me.
Okay, no problem.
It can happen if you have the heart and the will. Anything can happen. Sure.
May I do it in Dallas, or do you want me to come back here and do it?
No, I'm okay with you if you do it in Dallas.
Thank you, sir. That's all.
But
I would be close to my
want
kids.
you to understand that I will not entertain any excuses from you.
No problem.
You understand?
Judge, you wanted to do 1 hour of anger management and 1 hour of parenting a week, or you wanted to do more than that?
No, I would say probably 2 hours of each every week, so 4 hours in total. You're not working, are you?
I am, and because of my brother, he paid me cash, because all I do is more,
Why are you, my point is, why are you taking flights and not a bus? Are you spending $300 to $400 to come here every time?
close to it, probably sometime a little more.
Why not take a bus?
Because last time I took the bus broke down on the way here.
Well, that's not gonna happen every single time, you know?
I don't want to tell you, I don't want to come to you with no excuses, that's all. So I
Just
my mother
be
actually-
wary that you're paying 3 to 4 times what you know.
Bucks on $36 each time. Bus $36.
Right.
I didn't have a chance to get it, and it broke down, and I don't want to come see how my background is.
I mean, I understand that, I do, right? And it's not my problem to delve into your financials. I'm just be wary that it's a big difference in cost. You must remain in contact with James. He will get the information to me. Let's set a specific day when everything is due. What day you think?
So you're saying weekly, so do you
On
want?
a weekly basis, so I can have a report from you every single week, so we know if Thursday comes around, and we know the report is due.
Monday can be the day of next week, you know,
What's today?
that would work, Judge. The 24th.
Okay,
Is that the 24th?
that's a bet. 24th, you must have a sheet of paper to him that he will provide to me on Monday morning that you've done 2 different classes, 2 hours of each.
If I have like a little more time on my hand, can I do it before?
You mean, do your classes in advance?
Yeah, like just do it,
Next
because I was going to be sitting around wasting.
Don't oversell yourself.
No problem.
Just do what you can. And above all else, no drugs, no alcohol, and stay away from these other people. And I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna look you up a lot. And if I see that you pick up a new case, I'm gonna freaking lose. Do you understand? Okay, all right, thanks.
Judge, what for the actual court date? Are you
So
fine?
the actual court date will be, you want July 26th?
Oh, yeah, you said that was good for you.
Okay, must appear July 26th. But then we know every Monday you gotta be here with a report.
Yes, Judge.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right, guys. He tested positive for cocaine, benzodiazepine, and marijuana.
Judge, was it benzodiazepine or benzodiazepine?
It's benzos. So I'm assuming it's always gonna be a benzodiazepine from what I.
Well, so benzoglycanine is actually a metabolite of cocaine.
It stops today. You will now be required to come to court every Monday and Thursday to take a drug test. If you ever test positive for anything else, I will hold you in contempt, slap you with 180 days in jail, probate it for 2 years, and put you into a lockdown rehab facility. Do you understand? That's what you have. The treatment facility is a minimum of 9 months, depending on how well you respond to treatment. You understand? You ever do anything else? That's it. Mom, I'm sorry, but I have to bring him here a lot to test him because cocaine only stays in your system 3 to 4 days, and then it's out. I want to make sure that he's not using. It's the only way that I can do it. I've given you a lawyer today. You have my card. If you need anything, please tell me, okay? You will get a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. You are not to have contact with any of the complaining witnesses in this case and no weapons. If you pick up a new case, from this day forth, test positive for anything. If you smoke marijuana after today, and you test positive for marijuana after 30 days, I will know that you continue to use. You understand? You will get a GPS monitor today so I know where you are at all times. You must charge it on a daily basis. If the battery goes dead, so do you. Do you have a problem, Mr. Cooper? Are you sure? Can you stop? Who else is in your life besides mom? Does he live at the house as well? Good. How many other brothers and sisters you have? Older or younger?
My sister is older, and then the other ones are younger.
Today's Monday, right? So we'll set him off to Thursday. You must be here Thursday to take another drug test. No more dope. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a cell phone? Okay. Mom, do you have a cell phone number? What is your cell phone, please?
281.
All right. Nathan. Okay. What is your phone number? I'm going to write it down. That's okay. This is mom's phone number. This isn't his phone number. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Nathan, who we have appointed to represent you. If Nathan tells me he cannot get a hold of you, I will revoke your bond. You will not get any more free bonds. You understand? This is the one chance you have to make it right. You must also get back into school to get your GED. You can either do it this way or behind bars. Okay, Mom, do you have any questions? Is there anything else you think we should do? Are there any bad people that you think he hangs out with that we should tell him not to?
Nothing.
Okay. For now, I will have you sign a reset. You will then get with Tracy for your bond conditions. When you leave here, your lawyer Nathan is going to get in contact with you. You must speak to him about this case. And then we will see you on Thursday. All right.
Words to live by, guys.
Ms. Mathis for plea, Your Honor.
Chisholm. Ms. Mathis, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 125 days in jail. How much credit does she have?
I think it's 42.
42 days credit. Understand that you give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, the right to be arraigned, charge direction of the court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this, you can never change this. Ms. Mathis, the only thing I hope that if there's anything that you get from this, anything, if you were pulled over in a car with your record, officers are not going to be nice to you. And if you smell like alcohol or dope, you will be almost assured a ride back with a new DWI. You understand that? So if you want to do anything, if you want to get lit, just don't get into the driver's seat. That's all we ask. How do you plead to this offense? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. I'm going to suspend your license for 180 days, ma'am. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Chisholm.
John's gonna zoom on. You got Estrada.
Do you have the test on Estrada? Right now. So we're gonna set you off to Thursday. I'm gonna test you again. No more using dope.
And drug test, like, you know what I'm saying? I got my phone and I got called Monday to Friday. Is there any way I could do it?
I'm gonna test you on Thursday.
Okay, okay.
Understand? You gotta be back here on Thursday. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come on.
Right this way. Here's your reset.
Okay. Go back to sign.
No, you already did. Okay.
Hold on, give me a second.
Me neither, John.
Hey, John, who'd you get?
Adelson, Judge,
Begin.
Estrada Martinez.
Page 9.
Come up, Estrada Martinez. That is the
You gotta
lawyer
wait
that
till
we've given
tomorrow,
you.
John. We're gonna get you tomorrow.
This is Mr. Cedillo. He's been appointed to represent you. Do you have a cell phone number?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
I don't know it. I'm about to pull it out. It's 83
Okay. I'm going to test you 30 days from today. No more smoking dope, using anything.
Right, but
Test positive for marijuana after 30 days. It tells me that you've continued to smoke and I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand?
yeah, but yes, sir, but my case ain't a drug case. It's a pistol case. It's not a drug case.
I'm still telling you, don't smoke them.
All right,
California, Denver, Colorado, anything, right? You don't live there. You live in Houston, Texas.
yes, sir, correct.
No using. You understand?
Sir.
That's all I'm asking you to do, and stay out of trouble. Stay in contact with your lawyer.
And about the job thing, man, I can't find a job, but my family owns, we got business. Like my mom owns a washateria, and my brother owns that company I told you.
Why can't you work with them?
I can, but I ain't gonna have no proof of just pictures and stuff, if I work.
Okay with that?
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Correct.
The problem is, Mr. Estrada Martinez, that when you have too much time on your hands, what happens? Right, you become self-destructive and you start doing. The nice thing about working is you also get a ton of money.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that, because I'm not gonna go out there and look for a job. I'm just gonna work with my mom or my brother,
I'm totally fine with that. As long as you can show me that you're doing it, I'm okay with it. That's fine.
Yes,
Great.
sir. Correct.
As long as you're doing something good to occupy your time and you're not running on the streets looking for, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Right.
All right.
I'm gonna have you go sign a receipt with Victoria. When you get out of here, Mr. Cedillo is gonna get a hold of you. You guys talk about the case and go from there.
Correct. Sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Actually, guys, so Victoria's off for the next 3 days. She might come into chat though, and it is amazing when she comes in the chat. She is so funny. Hi, Brayden.
July 17th.
Did you hear that, John?
July 17th, Judge?
Yes.
Is that 30 days? Wonderful.
Judge, I'm gonna be out of the county on that date. Can I do the day before? 16th?
3.5 hours.
Can we do the day after just to give him the benefit of the
3.5
doubt?
hours.
Is 18 okay for you, John?
That works, Judge.
All right, it's yours.
Oh, yeah. I get
Thank you,
that.
Judge.
Okay,
Get
man.
that.
Okay. Can I be excused, Judge? I'm gonna log
Yeah,
off and I'll
go. You're good. Thanks. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you, Judge.
There you go. Go ahead and see Tracy.
Is that a lawyer?
Buenos días. Nomás escucha, pues. Nomás escucha, pues, para acá. Yo voy a estar diciendo.
Interpreter. Okay.
Junior Mauricio Meldan Caceres.
Yes.
Sir, initially you were charged with criminal mischief. From what I understand,
Yo entiendo.
Daños a propiedad ajena.
your bond was revoked,
Se la revocaron.
and now you've picked up a new case.
Caso nuevo.
You have picked up a failure to identify oneself to a peace officer while being a fugitive from justice. As such, you are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On June 13th, 2024, officer was assigned to a follow-up on 7 burglary cases and formulated a suspect.
Wait. You said 7 burglary cases?
Formulated a suspect who was the defendant as possibly involved in one or multiple of the burglaries. Officers discovered that he had an open warrant out of court 5. Officers received a call that another officer detained the defendant for his active warrant. That officer in full uniform had seen defendant's mugshot and observed him outside the food mart. Officers asked the defendant for his name, and he gave the name Mauricio. Defendant was brought to an interview room where he was interrogated regarding the burglaries. Defendant was Mirandized and identified himself as Juniro
Hold on,
Mauricio Morales.
Does anybody in here speak Spanish? I'm going to try this legal. Levantente lejos de por mí.
Sanchez, with the date of birth of March 20th of 1996. The defendant's true name is Junior Maldonado Caceres, with the date of birth of January 12th, 1990.
Your Honor, ma'am.
Sure.
So, Your Honor, there seems to be a discrepancy between the Dems and what the originating officer that arrested him is saying. The originating officer is not saying, doesn't mention anything about knowing him by sight. He says he sees him outside of, I believe, an I and A. Where is it? I'm sorry.
Judge Fleischer's falling asleep, guys.
Oh, Food Mart, I'm sorry. On 11100 block of Arbery Lane. He went up to the suspect and asked him his name. When he said his name was Mauricio, and then he did a pat down, essentially a Terry stop. It doesn't actually give a reason why he's going up to him. It's not about the possible burglaries. I think that happened afterwards, right? That he was made aware of this while essentially he's already in custody. So as far as the absconding with the criminal mischief, to me, that's separate and will have to be handled right now as well. But with this one, I'm not hearing any reason other than somebody that's just standing out in front. You're asking them what, it doesn't even say that he asked him what he was doing there. Doesn't say that he saw him committing any acts. So there's no reasonable suspicion. And then he says that he does a pat down for officer
Says he's
safety.
investigating him for 7 burglaries, right?
No, but that's this investigators investigating him.
So
This is a separate person.
The initial contact.
The initial contact for the DIMS, it says that the officer knows this defendant from having looked at a recent booking mugshot and knew that he had an open warrant out of this store.
That's not what this officer says. I believe that what he's saying is that he knows that the officer that does the DIMS knows him because he's investigating.
So who's the actual one that goes up to him on the beat?
Ellos me hablaron de eso, de robo.
It looks like the officer received a call from another sergeant that one of his officers had detained the defendant for an active warrant.
So to make it a little clearer, this is Officer Zachary Hanna that's doing the DIMS. Deputy C. Garcia, he says he's doing a special watch, doing extra patrols for burglaries in the subdivision, right? For possible suspects by the name of Junior Mauricio Caceres, who had an open warrant. while servicing the area, observed Junior hanging out in front of the IA Food Mart, made contact with suspect. He provided me his first name, Mauricio, and then detained suspect where I patted him down for officer safety. So basically, he's saying that he sees him outside.
But he
pats
knows
him
it
down.
though. He knows it. Like he patrols the area and
Where it
then-
says it, the people that say it is actually the other ones. Zachary Hannah says he knows it. So he doesn't say he knows him. At least that's not the way I read it.
He's doing an active investigation because of the burglaries that are in and around the area.
He doesn't say that the mugshots have been given out. He says he's doing extra patrol. So I mean, if you're doing extra patrol, but then he sees that somebody on the outside of the food mart, he doesn't say, I recognize them from the mugshot. So I feel like we're doing a leap of logic saying, oh, well, he knew him already. Instead, he goes up to him. I think he just goes up to him.
Within the DIMS, Judge, it says Deputy Garcia stated that he had previously seen the defendant's mugshot and more information and saw the defendant outside of the food mart on the.
So that's what I'm saying, like this.
But that is somebody else's sworn statement. But in his sworn statement, he doesn't say that he knows them from a mugshot.
But who makes that sworn statement?
Well, it's not a sworn statement. I'm sorry, the offense report. So he doesn't mention that.
But I'm going off the DIMS, the sworn statement.
Right, but that's hearsay, right? Hannah can't swear for Garcia, so.
And then that means that we never have any criminal cases here, if that was the.
No, that's not true. That's not true, because I mean, every DWI is literally, it would be Hannah who was the witness, right? But you can't swear for somebody else that they're saying that. When,
I don't know.
because when you look at the offense report and they say something different, that's where you have a discrepancy, and that's where I'm coming at.
Let's do this, because I don't know. Can you reach out to him and then we can do another probable cause hearing tomorrow morning? It's already late. I mean, it's nearly 1 o'clock. Can you reach out to the officer to see what brought them to the initial contact? Who did it? Okay, and
I'll reach out to him.
please. Regardless as it is, he has an open criminal mission as it is now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, and I'm not.
It's already been revoked.
Yeah, and well, right now I see that they gave him a PR bond on that.
Okay.
Right, but I'm not giving him a PR bond because he's absconded and then he picked up a new case, right? So can you, no PR bond day on the criminal mischief day?
So it's gonna be 2501?
I'm gonna leave it at 2501.
Okay.
But
Your Honor, can we have the same on this one, same bond?
Yeah.
Thank you.
so, and then on the new case, because I have to set a bond now, I'll set it at 2501 as well.
Your Honor, since they're gonna do that investigation, if I could just have a regular reset, that way they can, because they have to do a RIP, and most likely with a case like this, we're
But I want
probably gonna get a.
I can't just, I cannot find, I have to find probable cause at some point.
In that case, Your Honor, we're gonna waive probable.
Well, then I guess I'll just find it for all intents and purposes then. And then I guess if you still want to do a RIP or not?
That's them. They told me they can't make an offer until a RIP.
Okay, can you please do it? You mind? Because he's gonna be, I mean, I don't see an immigration hold either though, Ruben. Do you? Do you see an immigration hold or no?
There's no immigration hold right, as of right now, Your Honor.
Mr. Caceres, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
I'm in process.
Understand, the more criminal cases you pick up, the higher likelihood you have of any permission that you have being here for them to revoke the permission. If you have, I don't know if you have or not. And I'm going to tell you, the more time you spend in custody, the higher likelihood you have of an immigration detainer being placed on you. I now, as a condition of your bond, am ordering you not to go back to this location. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. What was it exactly? You said a food town or what
There
was
was
it?
an I and A.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Jackie, you must have been so upset. I would have been so upset. I would have been beside myself. Oh my gosh. I don't Listen, Jackie, Donald didn't really pass away. He's a man, so he has a slight cold. So, so we're all coming together to support him through this. Oh man.
A food mart.
We're not allowed to go back to this location. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yes.
well, so going back to this location and no weapons, please.
Tengo una fianza.
I'm also, as a condition of your bond, where's the criminal mischief from? Do you know? Is it someone's house? Is it a business?
I think it is a person, because it says something about a patio.
It was to a residence, Judge.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go back to the location of the criminal mischief and not to have contact with that complaining witness as well. All right, sir. I have set both of your bonds at 2501. We will put you back for the moment until we have your bond conditions. We will have you sign them and then you will be on your way, sir.
Is he wearing a change purse around his neck? What is that? Oh man. No, Donald, don't die. Don't breathe through it. Don't die. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming out. What time is it? 6:30. So we have like probably 3.5 more hours. It depends. Um, it's a change purse. He has a change purse on. Duh. He usually comes on like, I don't know, 9:45, 10, 10:15. So I will see you all there if you're there. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming out today. I really, 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 really appreciate it. Let's see. Let's see. Which one are we going to do? Which one are we going to do? We're going to do this one, I think. Thanks, guys. I will see you soon.
Kathy on the stream got peeps in the chat. Giggles like confetti, room buzzing like a stack. Twisting up the jokes, humor wicked, never flat. Watch her laugh bounce in rhythm, boom bap. Microphone queen, memes on the scene. Every joke a stroke, call it comic cuisine. Smile so big, splits the screen, obscene. Glowing on the stream, digital moonbeam. Kathy's giggles be the jam, serotonin on tap. Can't get enough, free play, no cap. Sense of humor sharper than a diamond rap. Tune in daily, it's a laughter trap. Comments popping off, in sync with the grin. Banters with the chat, friendly battle she win. Laughs echo like beats, draws the crowd in. Kathy's wit cutting cleaner than a shark's fin. Storytime saga makes mundane grand. Twisting mundane yarns like an elastic band. Every punchline lands, humor in demand. Kathy keep us hooked like contraband. Rewind and repeat, her streams on a loop. Fam gather round, Kathy the troop. No one makes us laugh harder, ain't no dupe. Giggle squad rise up, all in one swoop. Microphone queen, memes on the scene. Every joke a stroke, call it comic cuisine. Smile so big, splits the screen, obscene. Glowing on the stream, digital moonbeam. Kathy's giggles be the jam, serotonin on tap. Can't get enough, free play, no cap. Sense of humor sharper than a diamond rap. Tune in daily, it's a laughter trap. Comments popping off, in sync with the grin. Banters with the chat, friendly battle she win. Laughs echo like beats, draws the crowd in. Kathy's wit cutting cleaner than a shark's fin. Storytime saga makes mundane grand, twisting mundane yarns like an elastic band. Every punchline lands, humor in demand. Kathy keep us hooked like contraband. Rewind and repeat, her streams on a loop. Fam gather round, Kathy the troop. No one makes us laugh harder, ain't no dupe. Giggle squad rise up, all in one swoop. All in one swoop.